What's up? I'm Bryan.
I'm Ben.
Here at Pioneer's Board Shop. Wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the different board constructions nowadays, primarily camber versus rocker. Camber is basically what snowboards have been for a long time now. Camber means basically that when the board's laid on a flat surface, the contact points are really going to be your nose and your tail, and then the board rises up in the middle. So when you stand on it, it lays flat, but it still has this built-in spring, built into it. Traditionally, camber was all that was ridden, but in the last couple of years, rocker boards have come out, which is a lot shaped more like a surfboard, which Ben is going to tell you about in a minute. But the cambered board, what it's good for, who's it good for? Cambered boards traditionally are good for guys that like to ride fast. They like a lot of edge control. It's great in half pipe. The downside of camber is it's not as forgiving, so there's a little bit more room for error. Cambered boards tend to be stiffer than a rocker board. So if you kind of fall in the category where you go to the mountain and primarily you're going to cruise, fast, ride the groomers, find some powder, camber's probably your board. This one right here is an Arbor Roundhouse. It's a 159. I ride a board that's pretty similar to it, like a 156, 158. I've kind of flip-flopped back and forth between camber and rocker, and I like them both in different scenarios, but if I had to pick one board, it would be a camber board. Just more power, especially out of turns. It definitely drives a lot, and it holds a lot better. You get to use a lot more of your edge. And you ride your board off the nose and the tail. You use your contact points right here is where you initiate and exit out of your turns, which is a little bit different than how a rocker board would.
Here I'm going to talk to you a little bit about rockered boards. So where a cambered board curves up in the middle and the nose and tail are always in contact, the rockered board curves the opposite way. So kind of like a surfboard shape. So that middle point is always on the ground, but your contact points at the end tend to be off the ground unless you're really in a turn. So what that does, it gives it a really forgiving ride, and it also makes it feel a lot more loose. A lot of the boards, it almost feels like a skateboard because it's a little loose end to end, turns pretty quick. Some of the disadvantages to rocker can be that depending on the board, it cannot really have that edge hold that a cambered board does. So it takes a little bit more to really set your turn. Some companies have found good ways to deal with that. On this particular board, the Arbor Draft, they've got what they call Grip Tech. It's just a little bump out under your toe and heel, which gives you that added contact point and kind of takes out that slide, makes you set an edge right away. So, upside to a rocker board, it's forgiving, it's going to ride a little bit softer, and it's really good for if you want to go cruise around in the park. If you just kind of want a low speed, mess around on the sides of the trails, it's going to be nice and soft through all those bumps. It's really going to be good in powder. It has some nice float to it, being that it's already got that curved up shape, gets your nose up out of the snow. It's good for a beginner rider, some of the younger guys, because it is really forgiving. And to kind of equate it to surfing, it's going to be a looser feel if you kind of like that just mellow cruising, a little bit looser, kind of retro fish style almost. This is going to be the board for you. If you're the kind of guy that wants to get out there and really rip a turn, barrier rail, then you're going to want to ride camber, because this isn't going to do exactly what you want it to. There's also some variations. There's the Burton Deja Vu, which has what they call flying V. So it's got rocker in the middle and then a little bit of camber under your feet. So what that does, it still keeps it loose, but it gives it that little bit more power through the turn and spring that the cambered board would have.
For some people, it's really the best of both worlds. It gives you that loose feel that rocker does, but still gives you that drive and edge hold that you're used to from a camber board. If you are coming off of a cambered board, rocker may feel really weird for you. This is a good first step to take. It's something that's kind of in the middle. It'll give you a feel for rocker, but still kind of give you that traditional camber feel that you've always known. So, awesome boards. We got a bunch of each here at the shop. We got some really good sales right now. A lot of our women's boards are 50% off. A lot of our men's boards are 30 to 40 off. And same thing in kids. It's cold. They're making snow. Winter's here. Don't hide from it. Chase it down. Go ride. Thanks. We'll see you again soon.